all that he did. She was a TV watcher, not a doer. That, her mother told her, was one reason why she couldn't get a boyfriend. Or a decent one. "No one wants to marry a couch potato, honey doll," she had said. Molly knew that, but then again her shift at work made doing anything but flopping in front of the TV out of the question. She hadn't had sex in more than a year. The encounter with an old boyfriend from high school hadn't been of the caliber to make her want a repeat. Ted Roberts had invited her to go kayaking one time when he was still single, but Molly didn't want to miss a reality TV marathon she'd been sucked into and passed on the opportunity. She wished now that she'd said yes. She liked Ted. So robust, so strong, so vital. As she stood there looking up at the lighted window, she caught a memory of how Ted had appeared before getting sick. He was in his 40s, but his body surely didn't look it. That former classmate she'd hooked up with looked like he'd swallowed the Pillsbury Doughboy. Whole. Molly didn't go kayaking with Ted, but she kind of imagined he had been asking her out on a date. She'd never have said yes to that anyway. Not cool to date your neighbor. Not at all. "You only live once," he said when she declined his offer. If that was her window for the older guy next door, it snapped shut shortly thereafter. It was around that time that Jennifer and her son Micah and daughter Ruby showed up on the scene. Molly could see a change coming over her friend and neighbor. Even though he'd always had a smile on his face, a joke, a laugh, something that indicated a love of life, Ted Roberts hadn't really been happy at all. Oh, he looked like he was happy, but that wasn't genuine. Ted had even admitted one day the previous summer that he'd been filling up his time biking, running, and kayaking to escape the emptiness of his own life. "You got a boyfriend yet, Moll?" he asked her while he washed his Jeep on a sunny August afternoon. Molly looked away, embarrassed. "Not really," she said. "I've had a few maybes, but none that I'd ever go out with. The guys I see at work are super old, in their 50s and 40s and stuff." Ted smiled. "Old like me?" he said. His eyes squinted and his gaze challenged her a little. His brow was a crinkled patch of sunburned skin. "That came out wrong," Molly said, her face feeling hot. He grinned and flashed his bright white teeth. "No worries," he said. "I'm going to tell you something very important." He motioned for her to come closer. "What?" Molly asked, leaning in, keeping an eye on the hose in case he was going to try to drench her in some Ted-like prank. "I didn't start living until I found Jennifer," he said. "Don't wait like I did. Sometimes the best thing is standing right in front of you." Molly was lonely and naive enough to think that he was kind of hitting on her. It was a thought she'd like expunged from her memory because he hadn't been doing anything of the sort. Yet for some reason the encounter came back to her while her dog squatted by the bush and the light came on in the bedroom. Ted was not like that at all. He was no flirt. He was deliriously happy that he had found Jennifer. With Candy now doing her little dance, flipping dirt and bark dust back toward the parking strip, Molly's thoughts drifted to the last time she saw Ted. It was about a week ago. She went over after work with the better part of a chocolate sheet cake. Jennifer answered the door. She was in her 40s too, but looked younger. She had a lovely figure, the kind Molly had always wanted, a little larger on top, but not so much that it distracted from her face. Her wrists and ankles were thin, which were always stops on Molly's survey of another girl. Her mother had piano legs, and so did she. "I thought you, Ted, and the kids might like this," Molly said. "They made me take it home. I guess they think I have no life, and it doesn't matter if I get fat. Anyway, all of you, are always so perfect." "Molly, you're so thoughtful," Jennifer said. "I'm sure Ruby and Micah will devour it." Maybe Ted, too," Molly said, almost as a question. Jennifer turned toward the living room. "Would you like to see him?" Molly didn't hesitate to get into the living room. It was the real reason she was there. The cake had been an excuse. She shut the door and followed Jennifer into a darkened living room where the sole illumination came from the 70-inch big-screen TV. "You have a visitor."